This is CBS 12 News at 3.
And buildings just don't fall down.
It looked like something from like 9/11, literally.
We're pretty shook, and it's not like processing in our minds yet.
And we opened up the door from our apartment, and there was a huge pile of rubble and dust and just havoc.
Thanks so much for joining us on the CBS 12 News at 3. I'm Luli Ortiz.
And I'm Ashley Glass. Cautionary hope. That is what rescue crews and families in Miami are clinging to at this hour after a 12-story high-rise collapsed very early this morning.
And so far, at least one person has died, and it's 99 people are still missing. Now, we want to warn you, this disturbing video, which caught the collapse overnight, you could see the condos go down in less than 10 seconds.
Happened so quickly here. CBS 12 News is the one to turn to for live team coverage. We start with CBS 12 News anchor Jim Grimes, live from Surfside.
Yeah, let me go ahead and put this umbrella down. It's been starting to drizzle out here. That may not be necessarily a bad thing at this point. That's because there's a lot of dust in the air. In fact, the first thing you notice when you get out here to Surfside is there's this thick odor in the air. Smells like burning and a lot of dust. But this is the scene behind me. Let me get Max to shoot right into that. You can see what's going on down there. Right now, this is the side of the building that looks like you can see a corner of it where it had collapsed. On the other side, and we're going to show you some pictures of that in a minute, you'll be able to see how this building was just sheared all the way down. Looks like a knife cut through it. About 60 units, condominiums, falling to the ground early this morning. It's an unbelievable scene. I got to just tell you, there's a lot of media out here, as you can imagine, but there's also a lot of people in this community who live here. They just look like they're in disbelief because this has been going on since early this morning. And who would have thought something like this could happen? Max, we're going to come back out here for a minute. You know, our Andrew Lawfome, he got out here a few hours ago. He's joining us right now. And Andrew, when you pull up and see this for the first time, it is pretty incredible.
It takes your breath away when you see it, frankly. You don't expect to see something like this. Talked to some people out here who said it reminds them of 9/11, seeing a building down like this. I mean, you can see how high that rubble stack measured out. It's about 2 stories high with the rubble there. And actually, you can see the air conditioning units actually right on top there, kind of through the mist and the smoke. But really an eerie scene there to see those air conditioning units just piled up there. And really, if you look at the backside of the building, it's really the northeast corner of the building that just looks like, as Jim said, a knife just sliced right through it. But that southeast corner, it looks relatively fine, all things considered. Now, we talked to a nurse who treats people there in the building earlier today who was just in utter shock when she walked up to the building.
Right now, we have the fire rescue. They are in search and rescue mode. They are trying to identify survivors. We are happy to report that through the help of the Red Cross, we have short-term hotels set up for these folks. And then obviously we're going to work with the city and the county, state, to make sure that there's any longer-term needs that we can be helpful in any way we can.
All right, so that was the governor talking about the destruction here, and he said that really TV cameras don't do justice the amount of destruction that's out there. He was able to take a tour of what the scene looked like there, Jim. But
yeah, Andrew, we were talking to some people who had also who live in this area, and it's amazing to think this is a luxury condominium complex. Surfside, just a small, tight-knit community, about a mile in circumference, high-end homes. So the fact that this could happen here has a lot of people worried in other condos along the ocean that that's a possibility for them as well.
Right, and this condo here is about 40 years old. Talked to somebody who lives at one nearby. He said that all the condos in this area built in the early 1980s. This one, 1981, 130-unit complex here, and really those questions of how and why this happened remains unanswered. And I think until those are answered, it's understandable why you might be in some sort of fear, not knowing exactly why and how this happened.
There has been a huge rescue effort underway as we speak. They have pulled pull dozens of people from this rubble. Keep in mind, this is concrete rebar. This is heavy stuff, so they need heavy machinery to actually move it. You can't do any of this really by hand. They did find a small boy earlier today. That was something to smile about, something to be hopeful about. But right now, at this point, it's unclear just how long it's going to take before they exhaust all those resources and start to tabulate the death toll here. Right now, they are saying just one person dead in this 12-story building collapse, partial building collapse. We're going to have much more for you coming up a little later in this newscast.
All right, Jim, Andrew, thank you. So here's what we know about this building right now, Champlain Towers South. It's been standing for over 40 years, which means it survived hurricanes like Andrew. It's a 12-story building with about 130 units, and the recent listings were between $600,000 and $700,000 each, according to the Miami Herald.
And a reunification site was set up at Surfside Community Center for frantic families searching for loved ones. The Red Cross is assisting families and the community is stepping up. Residents stunned at the images that they've been seeing.
And it was awful. Kids growing up screaming, women and children crying, and it was probably one of the worst experiences that I've ever witnessed in my life.
I have friends that live there, and they have no idea because they were in the South Tower. There's no news yet. We're here with my children. I just hopefully if they need us, or if I can offer my house. I have 2 bedrooms in my house.
And if you are still searching for loved ones, you can call. That number is 305-614-1819.
I want to take you back live for another live look before we head to break from Surfside Beach, Surfside near Miami Beach. We do know at least one person has died. Rescue crews are still searching for at least 99 more people still missing at this hour after this condo building collapse.
And the investigation could take weeks. We will continue to coverage this at CBS12.com and the extended hour beginning at 4 o'clock.
And as the search continues down there, there is a threat of shower activity. There's already been some rain across the area. In fact, a little closer look here near Surfside, we are looking at a few showers pushing through the area. I'll continue to track that and look at what's coming our way next in my forecast.
And we continue to follow breaking news. We want to show you live pictures. This is Surfside in Miami-Dade at the partial building collapse.
The rescue effort is underway right now, but there is rain in the forecast. We'll continue to monitor how this could impact those rescue efforts.
Well, it looks like we are going to continue to see those showers across the area down there in parts of Florida. And as we're looking to the south, the concern is some of these showers that have been pushing through earlier, they were actually a little bit heavier. And with some of those showers, what you can get is maybe some gusty winds out of that. Also, that can slow down the rescue efforts as things get a little bit sloppy. But we're looking in this region here, some spotty showers that are going across the area. As Jim was mentioning, there was a lot of dust in the air, but sometimes that rain does help keep some of the dust down. And also the firefighters will spray water on those areas that had collapsed. But nonetheless, we're looking at this moisture moving in, and we still have a chance for more shower activity going through the area. Now, the good news is that there's not a lightning threat, and right now not looking at any major thunderstorm development off to the east. So that is going to help in some cases across the area, but we definitely have to watch this area very closely as we scan the skies down there around South Florida. Back here at home, we had some activity that was moving across back towards Pahokee, the southern portions of Lake Okeechobee, but we still have some activity moving through West Palm Beach. We got a little rain that's coming down out there. In fact, we can see those raindrops on the lens over here near West Palm Beach, just near the airport, and we'll continue to see that on and off through the evening. As far as temperatures right now, we're sitting in those mid-upper 80s, 88 degrees Fort Pierce. As we get to Jupiter, 87 degrees, 80 in Boynton, and then over towards Indiantown, sitting at 76 degrees with a little rain-cooled air. Tonight, temperatures in those mid-upper 70s, a few spotty showers, and it looks like we'll become partly cloudy late overnight, but as we go through the overnight, it looks like things will calm, a little more sunshine back in the picture to kick off the weekend with more showers possible. Tracking the tropics, it looks like we are once again seeing some activity out there. One area of concern coming off the west coast of Africa, where we have in the next 2 days 20% chance of formation, about a 40% chance over the next 5 days. So we'll watch this cluster of thunderstorm activity trying to develop, but there's a lot of wind shear out there trying to tear this apart, but we'll see if it tries to hold together as we look at right now giving a name of Invest 95L, and that means investigation of this storm to keep an eye out for it to see if it tries to formulate. Winds right now 30 miles per hour as we continue to see if that tries to get some organization. Friday afternoon, our highs tomorrow. Back here at home, looking at those temperatures in the mid-80s, 86 degrees, Jupiter, 85 Stewart, up in Vero Beach, about 84 degrees. And it looks like we'll continue to see heading into this upcoming weekend on our exclusive 10-day forecast. 40% chances for showers and thunderstorms as we go through the next several days. Back to you.
Still ahead at 3, the city of West Palm Beach taking more heat for how it responded to the recent water crisis, why the state is coming after them. Welcome back. We want to bring you the latest information about what we know of that deadly partial building collapse near Miami Beach. We've been covering this story all day and afternoon in the morning.
And here's what we know at this hour. One person has died in this building collapse. At least 99 people are still missing. The governor has set up hotels for survivors.
And One Blood says at this time the immediate blood needs have been met, but they are ready in case of those changes. And again, we're looking at live pictures of that partial building collapse. As you can see the rubble to the left side of your screen.
And the rescue efforts going on right now. We know this could take weeks and weeks for this to be, fully gone through and cleaned up.
Exactly. And we want to help the victims of the building collapse or their families. There is a website for assistance at this time, and we have it posted right now on Cbs12.com.
And Congressman Marco Rubio, whose district covers the Miami area, issued this statement on the collapse. He called it a, quote, unimaginable tragedy and thanked first responders for rushing in to save lives. You can read the full statement now on Cbs12.com.
Well, happening right now, there are reports of flooding in the Boynton Beach area. Boynton Beach police saying that they are seeing standing water in the area of North Seacrest Boulevard. At least one car was trapped in the water there, and officials saying that to use additional routes.
Well, once again, we are tracking showers and thunderstorms across the area. We've seen some across our area as well. Earlier today, a little bit heavier rain around Palm Beach County, just around Boca Raton. You can see some of that heavy downpours of rain where there could be that standing, ponding water. Keeping an eye down there in Miami-Dade County as well, as we're seeing that shower activity. It has lessened. That's the good news, but still a remaining line of some showers just offshore there that may affect some of that cleanup as they're trying to get through that debris of the building that collapsed. So we're looking over here towards that area that may get some spotty showers over the next several hours. It does keep the dust down, but nonetheless, it creates a little bit of a mess dealing with the water and the rainfall that comes down. Nothing in the severe category, which is good, because if you had wind or wind gusts or lightning, that could cause problems with creating more debris falling. So thank goodness we don't have any wind issues at this time. A little bit of thunderstorm activity firing up over near Clewiston, but it looks like at this time we're seeing just some spotty showers that are coming down around Palm Beach and Palm Beach County, Wellington, and West Palm Beach. So here's what it looks like. Cloudy skies for the most part. We have some raindrops on the lens there, looking out towards the airport. Temperature-wise, we've been in the mid-upper 80s across the area. A few cooler spots, upper 70s in Indiantown, 79 West Palm Beach, 85 Port St. Lucie, 88 in Fort Pierce. Down in Belle Glade, right around 82 degrees. Expecting to see those temperatures right around in the mid-70s as we go through the overnight. Looks like we will see a spotty shower here and there, so keep an umbrella nearby if you're running any errands or heading out this evening. Now tracking the tropics. Once again, we have a little activity still trying to work out over the coast of Africa, just the west coast of Africa. Looks like that is the next area of focus as we're looking at about a 20% chance over the next 2 days of maybe some formation in these cluster of thunderstorms that are coming off the west coast here. And then it looks like over the next 5 days, about a 40% chance. So something interesting definitely to watch as we're seeing these storms trying to circulate and organize, moving west-northwest at 10 miles per hour with winds at about 30 miles per hour. So this is now given the name of Invest 95L as we continue to see this move across parts of the Atlantic. Now, back here at home. It looks like for tomorrow, kicking off the weekend, we're going to see those temperatures in the mid-80s. We started our day off today with plenty of sunshine. It's a beautiful morning, great sunrise, but it looks like tomorrow we'll get some of that as well with a little bit of sunshine, partly cloudy skies through the afternoon with evening showers and thunderstorms. So the first half of the day, you could probably use those sunglasses. By the latter half of the day, you might have to keep an umbrella nearby with a possible shower or thunderstorm in the neighborhood. So here's what it looks like your hour by hour. Looks like we're seeing those temperatures increase through the morning in those lower 80s because we'll be overnight upper 70s. So 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, we're seeing temperatures in the low 80s, a little bit humid out there. By the mid-afternoon, after lunchtime, looks like we're seeing those thunderstorms popping up across the area. If you're heading out on the water, taking a look at your boat forecast, it looks like we are seeing a chance for those evening showers and thunderstorms. Winds out of the east at about 15, a little bit gusty at times. Now, the seas could be a little choppy, about 2 to 5 foot chop, and it looks like there could be on the intercoastals maybe a little bit of a wave action there going on, maybe about a foot, but nonetheless, just be cautious and keep your eye on the radar if you're taking the boat out. As we look at the timeline here for Friday, we're getting a few spotty showers through the air, especially through the afternoon, scattered across the area through the lunchtime hour. Then the evening starting to taper off later, but nonetheless, we'll see those spotty showers on and off and scattered across the area. And it looks like it's about a 40% chance going in through the weekend as well, about 40% chance Saturday, 30% chance on Sunday, and then it looks like we're seeing a little increase as we get into later next week. Weekend in view, it looks like we are seeing, if you're going out to the beach, about 86 degrees both Saturday and Sunday, and it looks like we could get an afternoon or evening shower or thunderstorm across the area, so enjoy the water, but keep an eye to the sky if there is a rumble of thunder. Your exclusive 10-day forecast right here on CBS 12. We are seeing those temperatures mid-upper 80s, and it looks like we'll see those temperatures holding steady. Our normal high for this time of year is right around 89 degrees, but we'll be 86 for the next few days here with equal chances for getting some spotty showers and thunderstorms, but also we'll enjoy some sunshine as well going through the next several days. Back to you guys.
It's time now to weigh in on our question of the day. What do you think should happen with critical race theory curriculum? Should it be taught in schools or banned from schools? Answer and comment on our social media sites like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And right now there are new warnings about the water in West Palm Beach. This comes after the city issued a water advisory last month. The new warnings say there are high levels of a chemical product that was produced by the disinfectants aimed to treat the water. As of right now, there is no boil water advisory for residents, but the city says you might be at more risk if you're immunocompromised, a senior citizen, or a baby. But the city's stressing this is not an emergency at this point. We're staying in touch with the city. We'll update you right away if things get any worse. And the city of West Palm Beach is facing a water violation at the same time. State health officials claim the city may have violated the law by not alerting the health department and people fast enough about the dangers of the drinking water. The state says the city had test results showing toxins in the water several days before it told the Department of Health. The DOH says that violates a state rule, which requires residents be notified within 24 hours of anything that could be a danger to the public. But the city of West Palm Beach followed the rules to the letter. They cite another state rule, which requires a municipality to run multiple tests conducted over several days before alerting the state to the toxin. The Department of Health is still investigating.
And Congressman Brian Mast says that it should be illegal to have Lake Okeechobee water in the communities. He tweeted out this photo you see right there, saying that the recent tests came back to be more than 15 times normal levels.
We've been following the partial building collapse near Miami Beach since very early this morning. At least one person is dead at this hour as crews are sifting through the rubble.
And the 12-story oceanfront tower had over 130 units. At least half were destroyed. At last check, 99 people of the Champlain Tower South condo remain unaccounted for. And we just heard from Airbnb right now that none of those names were staying with them.
We also know that more than 80 rescue units from South Florida are there. We are going to check in with our Jim Grimes in just a few minutes for more on this breaking story that we have been following again since very early this morning.
All right, we want to check in with Chief Meteorologist Vitas Reed.
Well, it looks like once again for the next couple of days here, we're going to see a few showers and thunderstorms possible, but it looks like we're also going to see equal chances of rain and sun. So it looks like 40% chance into Friday, but I think it'll be some sunshine through the first part of the day. Then as we get into the afternoon, there's a better chance for those thunderstorms to pop up across the area. But definitely nice warm temperatures going into this upcoming weekend.
All right, Vitas, thank you. We do have more news on the other side of this break.
We'll be right back.
This is CBS 12 News at 3.
Thanks so much for joining us at 3:30. I'm Luli Ortiz.
And I'm Ashley Glass. Heart-stopping images from the partial building collapse in Miami-Dade in a community called Surfside. This was surveillance video we want to show you caught the building going down. And moments ago, President Biden addressed the collapse.
Have you been briefed about the building collapse in Miami?
I have. I've spoken with the mayor. I've spoken with the congresswoman, and I'll have more to say about that as well.
And that was President Biden speaking about it after delivering remarks about a joint infrastructure bill. Our evening anchor, Jim Grimes, he is live outside of that building.
And Jim, what's the latest on the search efforts there?
Well, yeah, guys, I got to tell you, I mean, you would think that there would be these emergency sirens going off and a sense of urgency, but keep in mind this has been going on since the wee hours of the morning, and right now these fire crews are pretty tapped out. They have been putting water on we're standing, by the way, about 100 yards away from the building, and we're kind of on the northwest side of it, so it's the east side. That's where it's just sheared away on the ocean side, and they're working this small corner here. We've got a pretty good picture of it right now, but they've been putting water on that to put out a fire. You know, the first thing you notice when you get out here is all the dust and the smoke in the air, and it just gives you a sense of just how bad this has been this morning. But they're putting water on it right now, and they are painstakingly going through this 2-story high pile of rubble. Keep in mind, this is concrete, heavy concrete, steel rebar, really heavy stuff. So they're having to go through that, hoping to find anyone who might still be alive. Earlier today, an eyewitness actually found somebody. He was surprised when he heard some cries coming and then saw a hand. We've got an interview with him. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I was able to hear the boy that was pulled from the rubble yelling. As I got closer, I was able to see his hands sticking through the rubble, you know, waving. It was just, like I said, it was just sheer panic. You know, his mom, we couldn't hear her, couldn't see her, so we didn't know what status that she was in. He just, you know, please don't leave me. So we told him, we're right here. We're not going to let you, you know, be by yourself. So.
You can only imagine how frightened that child must have been, but the good news is he's one of the lucky ones. 35 in all have been pulled from the rubble. About 10 of them had to be treated at the scene for their injuries. It's still unclear exactly how many people could be in there. They're now estimating that about 99 people are unaccounted for. It's about 60 units, they guess, that actually just disappeared into that rubble. But again, the sense here is they just want to get this job done, hoping that they can have some more success stories. We're going to keep you posted. We're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
Jim, what are authorities telling you as they're updating you about the structural integrity of the rest of that building that's still standing?
Yeah, Ashley, that's a good point. They're not really sure how safe it is to even go in there right now, and that's another reason, you know, we don't want anybody else to be injured or, God forbid, killed in this. So rescue crews have been very hesitant to just jump in there and start doing what they have to do. So heavy machinery, things like that might help them to pull some of that heavy rubble off and start combing through that pile. They've been reluctant to really get in there and do that right now. So this building, 40 years old, it faces the water. You know how corrosive that salt water can be. They have no idea what caused this to happen. And you know, you've seen the video. It looks like one of those demolitions where the building just caves in. So they don't know if the rest of the building is safe, but obviously it's been evacuated along with some of the other condominiums that are nearby as well.
All right, our Jim Grimes reporting live in Surfside near that building. Thank you, Jim.
And we have heard from the governor praising first responders. This photo was snapped as soon as he arrived in Surfside. He says temporary hotels have been set up for survivors.
And we just found out that there will be a news conference in the next half hour, and we will bring it to you live as soon as it begins. The rescue efforts may be delayed due to the rain.
We want to check in now with Chief Meteorologist Vitas Reed, check on that forecast, what this could mean for those search efforts. Vitas?
Well, there was a lot of heavier rain earlier as this occurred early in the morning. There were some thunderstorms offshore from the coast there of Miami, and there was some heavier thunderstorm activity that pushed through. You can see how that was making its way into that region. region. A lot of that is kind of tapering off, which is good news, but that could cause some issues if there is a lot of rain that would come down or develop. But right now, things are looking like they have been breaking up a little bit across the area as this has been pushing through this region right here where that building collapse took place. So it looks like right now there are some light showers coming down. Actually, that helps keep the dust value down of when you have a demolition or something like that. They usually put water on it, but with this accident that occurred, looks like this is going to actually keep a little of the dust down as that light shower activity goes across the area. Now, there's not anything really looking too scary off to the east as far as any more heavier rain, but something to watch very closely because there's still a few chances for waves of rain to come in here as we scan the skies across the area. So definitely no lightning to be concerned about. And the only concern was with these showers and thunderstorms earlier on in the day that were in the neighborhood. You could get some wind gusts of anywhere from about 40 to 50 mile an hour in some of these that could actually take down more debris. So the good news is that this is just light showers in nature. It will make its way through and we'll start to see things clear out from the south. Now back here in our area, it looks like we're seeing just some scattered showers across the area. I'll continue to track those and tell you more about our forecast back here in this region coming up.
And anytime there's a disaster like this, it's a reminder how important it is to donate blood when you can. Right now, we are in the middle of the Sinclair Cares Roll Up Your Sleeves campaign. You can sign up to donate blood through a link on the banner at our website, Cbs12.com.
And still ahead on CBS 12 News at 3:30, a desperate search in Central Florida for a man accused of shooting a police officer. The entire county that remains on lockdown, and an update on how that officer is doing this afternoon.
You're watching The One to Turn To with Luli Ortiz, Jim Grimes, and Michael Ehrenberg with Storm Track Weather. This is CBS 12 News at 3.
Well, right now, hundreds of officers are searching for a suspect accused of shooting a Daytona Beach police officer in the head. All of Volusia County is on lockdown until police are able to track down that suspect. And we are getting a first look at the body camera footage. You could see that officer approaching the suspect, Othal Wallace, while he sat in the driver's seat. That suspect then stood up, got out of the car, and as the officer repeatedly told him to sit back down. Now, here's who they're looking for right now. He's 29-year-old Othal Wallace. His vehicle is a gray 2016 Honda CRV with California tags. Now, his tag is 7TNX532. There's a $100,000 reward for any information leading to his arrest. In the community holding on to support, there's a prayer vigil being held right now for the wounded officer outside of the hospital he is in.
We have new details this afternoon in that disturbing story out of Broward County where the bodies of two young sisters were pulled from a canal. We're learning that the girl's mother is a person of interest. Police say they're talking to this woman, Tanessa Hogan, but they have not charged her with anything at this point. Her daughters, 9-year-old Destiny and 7-year-old Daisha, were both found floating in a canal near a Lauderhill apartment complex on Tuesday. That's right near Fort Lauderdale. Detectives say the mom was known for wandering the neighborhood with a Bible, offering to baptize people in that canal. Missing reports were never filed for either of those little girls.
Also ahead at 3:30, 2021 is on track to be a deadly year for gun violence, how the current administration plans to crack down.
And I'm tracking some showers across the area. A few thunderstorms off to the west of Lake Okeechobee. Back here, we're looking at a little bit of rain. A little look at how long this will stick around and into our weekend coming up.
Welcome back, everyone. We want to bring you the latest information about that partial building collapse near Miami Beach. We've been covering this story's breaking news all day long.
Yeah, here's what we know right now. At least one person has died, and this is the building collapse. As you could see, the video of the rubble left behind. At least 99 people are missing. The governor has set up hotels for those survivors, and the mayor there tweeted moments ago saying that she is declaring a state of emergency for that building collapse in Surfside so that the federal government can allocate resources they desperately need.
And anytime we have a tragedy like this, we always talk about the need for blood donations. One Blood says at this time the immediate blood needs have been met. They are ready in case that changes. Again, 99 people unaccounted for right now. Rescue crews are sifting through a lot of rubble at the base of that building there.
And the local firefighters, they're using many of their resources. They have their dogs out there. They're even using drones to help in that search. We are awaiting a news conference with Miami-Dade police any minute now. and we will bring it to you live as soon as it begins.
We want to turn to this right now. We are learning more about Tuesday night's deadly shooting in Jupiter Farms. We know a mother had to watch her own son die. 40-year-old Brian Caronelli is behind bars, accused of shooting his soon-to-be ex-wife's fiancé. Deputies say Caronelli arrived at a home along 98th Trail North, just off Jupiter Farms Road, to pick up his son, and wound up getting into an argument with the victim. The victim's mother, who was there at that scene, told investigators Caronelli shot her son multiple times. He is now charged with first-degree murder. And right now, authorities are seeing a spike in crime nationwide.
In fact, this year, 2021, could be on pace to be America's deadliest year of gun violence in the last 2 decades. David Begnaud reports from New York on the rise in violence and reaction to it.
Take Chicago last weekend. Police say during the Puerto Rican Day festivities, surveillance video captured Giovanni Arzuaga and Yasmin Perez being ambushed after a minor traffic accident. According to authorities, Yasmin was pulled from the car, beaten, and shot. When Giovanni tried to save her, he was gunned down almost execution style. Both of them were killed.
It's hard to believe that he's gone. A young guy is gone just because of an accident.
In New York City, 2 children narrowly avoided being shot as a gunman shot at a man on a busy city street. And in Austin, Texas this month, gunfire broke out early one morning in the city's nightlife district. 1 person was killed, 13 more were injured. Nearly 10,000 people have been killed this year alone from gun violence, and it's not letting up. In a study of 24 major cities, homicides increased by 24% in the first quarter of 2021 compared to the same time period in 2020, and by 49% from that period in 2019. So far this year, homicides are up nearly 14% in New York City, 22% in Los Angeles, and by 13% in Washington, D.C. compared to last year.
The frustrating thing is no one has identified the magic solution.
Stephen Adler is the mayor of Austin, Texas, and he is hoping to reverse the trends.
We have too many illegal weapons that are falling into the wrong hands. We have to try to find those illegal weapons and take them off the street.
For Patrick Sharkey, a sociologist at Princeton University, the answer goes well beyond illegal firearms and law enforcement.
As a sociologist who studies gun violence in America, do you believe that abolishing the police is a good idea?
No, I don't think it's a good idea. We have 300, 400 million guns on the street. Our primary focus should be investing in these other institutions that can deal with addiction, mental illness, provide after-school programs.
Here's some perspective. There's one analysis that took a look at about 20 cities around the country and found that roughly 1% of the calls police are going out on involve calls of violence where guns and knives are involved, just 1%. So the sociologist you just heard from is a big proponent of leave the police for those calls, but let's focus on sending in better trained people to deal with a large majority of everything else. David Begnaud, CBS News, Manhattan.
Some parts of our area getting hit with rain this afternoon.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Vitas Reed right now on that forecast. Hey, Vitas.
Hey, guys. It does look like we are seeing showers out there. We're going to continue to see a little bit of rain on and off as we're going through the evening hours. Looking at Palm Beach County, around West Palm right now, some showers coming down. Lake Worth Beach getting rain, and also Wellington. A little heavier activity was west of Lake Okeechobee, but it looks like we're seeing that move away from our area. You can see the cloudy skies from our West Palm Beach cam looking over towards just south of PBIA, but it looks like we will continue to see mostly cloudy conditions until those showers start tapering off later tonight, and then we'll start to get to see those showers breaking up, and we'll get more clearing for tomorrow morning. 84 degrees temperature-wise, and Port St. Lucie up over towards Fort Pierce, looking at 86 degrees, 78 in Indiantown, a little cooler there. 83 Wellington, down in Boynton Beach, sitting at 82 degrees. A warm day, it'll be a nice warm night. Looking at those temperatures, upper 70s, showers ending, but it will become partly cloudy late with those winds out of the southeast right around 5. Heading to the tropics, it looks like once again we are seeing a little activity off the west coast of Africa. In fact, looking at what's going on with this, those numbers have increased just a tad bit for some formation. The next 2 days, about a 20% chance, about a 40% chance in the next 5 days. So we'll continue to watch this cluster of thunderstorms moving off the west coast of Africa as it gets out over the warmer currents of the ocean. Could there be more stronger formation? Potentially. Well, right now there's still a lot of wind shear to the north Could it run into that and kind of tear it apart? But right now, kind of interesting to watch this, and in fact, given a name, Invest 95L. That means investigation of this storm and cluster of storms as it tries to form. Winds right now sustained at about 30 miles per hour, moving west-northwest at 10. So we'll see how this plays out over the next 24 to 48 hours. As far as what's going on here, looks like we will see our weekend kicking off not too bad. We'll start off with sun and clouds to start the day off on Friday. Looks like we will see our temperatures topping out in the mid-80s for highs. 85 Fort Pierce, looking at Stewart, 85 degrees, down in Boca about 87 degrees as we get into the afternoon. We could get a few showers and thunderstorms popping up as we track it here on the hour by hour. Looking at your morning, going out for that morning bike ride or walk, it should be sun and clouds, but as we get into the later afternoon, we start to get those pop-up showers and thunderstorms, and the same applies. Could get a little bit of a heavy rainmaker or a little bit gusty winds at times, but they'll be widely scattered across the area. Heading on the boat, looks like it will be a beautiful Friday. Just keep an eye to the skies with those seas getting up to anywhere from 2 to 5 foot chop, and it could be a little breezy out there with those winds out of the east at 15, gusting to about 25 knots. So we'll watch that very closely going through the afternoon. As far as the cloud and raincast, you can see we'll start the day off with partly sunny skies, a few showers and thunderstorms really start to develop in the mid-afternoon. And then as we get into the late day, they start to taper off as we get through the sunset. So evening plans, not too bad, but you may have a remaining shower somewhere nearby, especially along the Treasure Coast, a better chance to see that. Now, as far as rain chances, we're looking at going into the weekend Saturday, 40% chance, 30% chance on Sunday, and then into Monday, Tuesday, about the same. So if you're going to be looking out towards the weekend, heading towards the beach or the pool, we're looking at temperatures in those mid-upper 80s. Saturday, 86 degrees, Sunday, 86 degrees with a chance for a shower or thunderstorm, about a 40 to 30% chance. So there's a better chance you'll probably get to just enjoy that sunshine. Closer look at your 10-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Turning now to the coronavirus crisis, a highly contagious Delta variant is spreading across the nation, and it now accounts for 20% of new COVID-19 cases in the U.S., and it's doubling every 2 weeks. The variant is now confirmed in nearly every state. Health officials warn younger adults who could be vulnerable because only 38% of people ages 18 to 29 are at least partially vaccinated.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention just held an emergency meeting. Now says there is likely a link between COVID-19 vaccines and rare reports of heart inflammation in young adults. Still, the CDC says the benefits of receiving a shot outweigh any risk. Right now, there are nearly 500 reports of heart inflammation cases among vaccinated people under 30. Going forward, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration will add a warning to vaccines about the risk of heart inflammation. Stay with us, everyone. We're coming right back.
New research in the journal BMJ finds that the coronavirus pandemic is lowering life expectancy in the U.S. between 2018 and 2020. Researchers found that life expectancy decreased by almost 2 years, a drop not seen since World War II. Those numbers were even worse for Black and Hispanic Americans who experienced a reduction of over 3 years.
And brand new data suggests plastic face shields aren't getting the job done when it comes to protecting against COVID-19. Research presented at the European Congress of Clinical Microbiology and Infectious Disease tested 32 different types of masks, respirators, and shields. They found certified surgical masks offered the best filtration, while those face shields provided little to no protection.
We want to bring you the latest information right now, the breaking news about a partial building collapse near Miami Beach.
We do know at this hour at least one person is dead. Many fear the death toll will rise as crews are right now searching for a lot of rubble at the base of this building. We do know weather could play a role, too, in those rescue efforts.
And these images of rescue efforts that are underway, they have their dogs out. They're using drones to help and assist in that effort. We want to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Vitas Reed.
Yeah, it looks like what we will see, as you can see on the forecast, we're going to continue to see a chance for some showers as we go into the weekend. We are looking at rain as we go into the weekend. Well, we have the different graphic up here, but it looks like we are going to continue to see those showers with a percentage. Right about a 40% chance as we continue to see Friday and then into Saturday and then into the weekend. So this is going to take time to clear that all out. And as we continue to see that, the issue is going to be that there are going to be equal chances for rain as we go down the road. Now, showers are tapering off down there in parts of Florida, in South Florida. But the thing is that we could get more thunderstorm activity potentially across South Florida as we go down the road. We'll continue to track this very closely in a weekend outlook coming up.
And we want to get one more check on that breaking news. In Surfside near Miami Beach, we do know at least one person is dead, at least 99 other people unaccounted for right now after this partial building collapse we've been covering as breaking news since very early this morning.
And we are expected to hear from Miami-Dade police. They are expected to deliver their news conference any moment now. And as soon as it begins, we'll be sure to bring it to you live. We'll be right back.